Hello and Assalamu alaikum. I'm not in Siberia, I'm in Riyadh, but it is very cold here. And we feel cold more because we are custom with hot. Even difficult to hold mobile properly. Anyway, didn't come here to talk about the cold, but came here to talk about something most of the people would have heard about or have used in their life. SWOT, a strategic tool used to make and define the strength, weaknesses of an organization, of anything. It's such a effective tool that you would not see a presentation of any strategy without going into this. It has simple four parts. The first two are the strength and the weaknesses. The second two are the opportunities and the threat. Or we can combine them as strength and opportunities and weaknesses and threat. If we combine them as strength and weaknesses, it will be the upper quarter and it would be called as internal factors or controllable factors. And the lower quadrant will be called as opportunities and threat, which will be external factors or non-controllable factors. But if we divide them in left to right, strength and opportunities, then it will be the positives, strength and opportunity on the left side, and negatives, which is weakness and threat on the right side. Now, this said, why I'm talking about SWOT today and why I'm calling it SWOT of life. If you want to do anything, you have to make this small SWOT. And if you do it properly, then you need to know which are the important elements. Most of the companies or organizations will fail not in making the SWOT, but in defining what's important to do from it. Mostly because it look macho and it look strong to talk about sustainability and talk about politics and talk about the environment and talk about the how the competition is and how the things is, and most of the anyway the things are available on the net and this thing, so easy to do it. So mostly the people would go for the part which is non-controllable, which is the external factor. But the part which is controllable, look, not very, not very much. Weakness, not very good at speaking, weakness, don't have staff, system, this, that. Doesn't look good, but that's the important part. Same way, the strength, people will say, we have it, why to talk about it? So mostly people will talk about the weaknesses and the threats. Come down it, bring it down. Let's come into the life. Why it is SWOT for life. Why it is important to see the internal factors, the things you can control, and the things which are positive. Let me give you an example, and there can never be a good example than of yourself. Let's see what make a person character, right? There are different philosophies, different people have talked about it differently, different people describe it differently, but it comes down to genetics, your growth, your education, your environment, and how you are at this moment. What's your lifeline? I would try to make it short, but be with me, guys, because sometimes short is not really the short thing. You have to go for the whole 9 yards, right? Take my example, because I know myself maybe better than I know others, though sometimes knowing yourself is also very difficult. If we go to genetics, I belong to a group of people who have been fighters all their life, have been rulers all their life, and they have fight so much so that even in the recent past, they had to fight for the right when the people were given the lands and the titles, they had to forego of those things for the right when the British Empire was here. If you talk about the growth, what would it be? It would be your family, how you were developed, and it will be your schooling. So when it come to the family, I was the firstborn. So I got the best of the both world from my maternal and paternal side, and alhamdulillah both were very loving, and alhamdulillah, both were stable. So I had what I want when I want. When it come to education, I was put into the elite military school. Not only school for day, but as a boarding. So I learned the discipline and I learned the authority. Now, when it comes to environment, I have been blessed by Allah to walk with the people of knowledge, to sit with the people of courage, to be with the people of authority, be it CEOs and managers and whatever you call it. So that environmental factor is also at the higher end. Then if you go to the authority level, that what the person is capable of, alhamdulillah, by the virtue of being the eldest, my siblings respect me. Alhamdulillah, I have a wife who support me. I have kids who obey me. I have extended family who look up to me in ways I hope they like it. Same way, the position, alhamdulillah, I am, or the financial position I have ease of life and easy to make decision. So what happens if I do the SWOT, right? My personality naturally becomes dominant. And it's very easy for me to lash out at anything and everything I don't like. Now, dominance itself is not negative, not positive. It's not a weakness, it's not a strength. How you use it is a weakness and is a strength. So, naturally, to me, it would be a negative thing if I don't control it. I can lash out, I can talk, shout, whatever. But when I struggle to develop it, and it become a quality which supports and protect the peoples which need to be protected, be it my team, be it my family, or be it anyone, that struggle no one sees. That struggle is not loud. That struggle is not shown to everyone. So normally humans are of the nature that they want to show the thing, but it's not shown. So it is the external factor taking over the internal factor, because internal factors are not shown. My struggle to carve that dominance into protection and support for the people instead of lashing out and cutting the people. Then if I go out and do something external, which would be easy. But anyway, the external factors are not to be negated. But I will not go detailed into the external factors. Because what I want to show here is that what important is you and your internal factor and the positive side, not the negative side of the SWOT, the positive side of the SWOT, the upper side of the SWOT, which is internal, not the lower side of the SWOT, which is external. External factor can be your environment, where you live, your country, anything. But let's not go into those, right? They are mostly non-controllable. You can adopt, you can try to change, but not that much. But how does the SWOT work? Let's go one by one. First, it's you. You can control yourself. You can change yourself. Then comes your family. You can be role model for them and you can change and control them. That's your job. Then come your extended family and your friends, where you can tell them, you can be role model for them, but you cannot force them to change. Then come the overall society. Here you cannot force anyone. You might be a role model, you might be able to say, but you cannot force. So that's where the biggest rule comes in. When to use power, when to use words, and when to feel in hurt. The people think that it's said for everyone to do with power or with words or then feel bad in the heart. But it's not like this. The people in authority, which you can be also in your family and yourself, do it by force. The people who can talk, who know the knowledge, that can be yourself, your family, and your friends and extended friends, you can talk to them. And then come the hurt, where your society is there, you can feel bad, maybe you can talk also. But if you get out of these and try to enter into the external factor, you will only bring chaos. You will never bring change. Your SWOT will go upside down. That's why the most important person to ever walk on the earth said, the biggest fight is against yourself to make it better. And that's why the positive, the left side of the SWOT, and the internal, the upper side of the SWOT is most important. Now, you will be thinking why I am saying all these things. Isn't it important to do good and stop bad? Let's go to my previous video. If you have seen it, you might remember it. If you have not seen it or not remember, go see it. I said that be more positive than stop doing negatives. And look like some of my fellows thought that I am saying that don't be negative and humans are negative sometime. That was not the case. The case here is that humans can be negative, can be positive, and negative even can be positive. It's not a mathematical equation that 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 minus 1 is minus 2, right? Minus and minus create plus, but it has a minus sign. It's not an equation. Math fail mostly when it comes to human emotions. Mostly mathematics cannot do it. That's why the human behavior sciences are not mathematical or scientific, though there are some scientific things. So if you go back to that video and then you see the SWOT of the life, and you come to know that the SWOT of not only the life, but SWOT for any company, anything depend on the left positive side and upper inner side. So what would be the right angle, or why would we be doing this, right? Why I say be positive? So the right angle here would be, let's say you eliminate a negative, then what? It will create a vacuum. What will you fill that vacuum with? I will give you an example. Go a little bit back. See very good people sacrifice blood and sweat and change the governments and wanted to do the change, and so the negative was gone. Then what? They didn't have any positive. Some of those countries went into more bad than they were before those revolution or revolts or whatever they are called. But if you take a small example of yourself, you start smiling to people in your house, in your office, in your society, the people will start smiling back to you. So it's not about not fighting the bad, but it's about doing more good and bringing more positive, and then the positive will eventually overflow the negatives. So, as I always say, be blessed, enjoy, and I will also enjoy the cold, and you enjoy whatever weather is there, and always think of all the things in proper perspective. If you want to see that video in positive way, if you want to see that video, or you can just take whatever you can take from here, and you can always come with the feedback, and we will keep on going. Be blessed. Have a nice time. Assalamu alaikum.